Hello everybody! I've got a bike here which is rather neglected, but the spiders are loving life, so every cloud. And the issue the customer has is he says the gears aren't moving particularly well, particularly when he goes into the lower gears, so the larger sprockets. Now it could be an issue with the spring tension of the derailleur because he says it has just been sat in the garage mid-gear for years and years and years. That's not a great way to leave your derailleur because the spring can lose its tension if it's stuck in one place under tension for many years. However, I think the issue actually is with the cable tension because he did ride it quite a lot before he put it to bed. So the quickest way to find out is by shifting to the highest gear, which is the lowest sprocket. That's moving quite well. What we're going to do now is go to gear 8, so the next gear, by clicking the gear shifter at the handlebar end. You'll probably hear the click. Let's see if the chain moves. There's the click and nothing. We're going to click again, still not moving. Now it's moving. So I'm basically in, what would that be, gear 6 now, because I've clicked it 3 times and it's only just moving. So this would be 4, that'll be 3. You can see it's having a bad day. So here's how to fix that. If you just ignore the cobwebs and ignore what potentially could be an old derailleur, I think we've found the issue, and the issue is the cable tension. If we just turn this anti-clockwise, I know traditionally we would see that as loosening, but what it's doing is it's increasing the gap from here to the point where the cable is locked onto, bolted onto the derailleur. So we're going to increase that gap by pulling this part out slightly, just only a few millimeters. Let's see what happens now. If we go to 8, oh, it almost wants to go, so let's do this a bit more. Okay, let's go to 8 now. There we go. And 7, 6, 5. Okay, so we found the issue. Granted, it's not perfect, but going back down again. So we know that's the issue, which is great. Let's just break that. So we know that's the issue. We know the issue isn't spring tension with the derailleur, although I'm sure it could do with some WD-40 in the pivot points here, so we'll do that. The issue is the gear cable. We know that for sure. So now we replace the cable. Let's get to work. The first thing you want to do is to remove or loosen this bolt here. Excuse the noise of my creaky bike stand. It's definitely the bike stand and not my knees. And once this is out here, you're free to pull the cable through, but not yet. And this is why. On some bikes, you have internally routed cables where the cable actually runs inside the frame all the way through to the top. If you just pull this cable through, you might actually prevent the opportunity to bring the cable back through easily, and it could be an absolute headache. So make sure your cable is external before you just pull, both on this part of the frame and the vertical part as well. Now, for me, I'm going to be out of focus, but we're all good here. So that's problem solved. If you do have internally routed cables, it means you've probably got a posher bike than this one, and that's lovely, good for you. I've also got videos showing you how to remove those cables safely. But what you want to do is cut your cables and pull the cable through. Now you might have noticed I'm cutting it at various points. If you've got an old bike where the cable is covered in crap and oil and everything else, the last thing you want to do is pull your cable through the outer cable, the part that it runs inside. So what I like to do is cut the cables just before their entry points. Again, I'm going to be out of focus, but just up here I'm going to cut the cable as well. That means I'm not pulling all of this stuff through, which is going to be skanky and horrible, through the cable at the top. So I'm going to cut that. This can be discarded, and then we're going to go to the top part of the bike and we'll see how to remove the cable from there. Now obviously every gear shifter is slightly different, but the principle is always the same. You've got the exit point for the cable, which means the entry point is nearly always from this side. If you've got grip shifters, sometimes the cable is coming from the top and other places. Have a look at my videos. I've covered pretty much every common popular gear shifter there is out there. But for this one particular, the Shimano Acera, you've actually got a really nifty system here, which if I can just find it, you've got a Phillips head screw just there. Hopefully you can see that. So we need to be undoing this screw just a little bit. This will pop out. It purely is there to serve as a weatherproof cap Once that comes out, you'll see the head of the cable. So I'm going to put this onto the tripod and we'll get to work. Now, if you lose these, it's not the end of the world, but it's just nice to keep hold of them if you can. So do your best to put your hand underneath like a cricketer and just catch it as it comes off. And you can put that safely to one side and pop it back on afterwards. Okay, what you can see hopefully now is a bit of a silver head. That's the nipple, the end point of the cable, which stops it coming all the way through. Because we've already cut the cable, we can just remove tension of the outer cable and just push through, and hopefully first attempt it will just come out. There we go. And now we can just pull this all the way through. Now sometimes when it comes to rerouting the new cable through, it can be a bit tricky because sometimes it has to go at a bit of an angle when it's inside the shifter. One little trick is to remove the outer cable briefly, and then there we go, you'll see some daylight through. It might be out of focus, but you get the idea that you can see the angle in which the cable needs to travel. So it's a bit hard for me to do it because I'm looking through the camera screen while I'm doing this, but ultimately you feed all the way through and then you can pull the cable through. There's one potential stumbling block that you can fall into where you think that the nipple of the cable is engaged and as far into the shifter as possible, and then you go to adjust all the gears and find out that there was still a bit more movement for it to travel. Hopefully you can see that. One good way to test this is if you pull this all the way through, and you can do that by just grabbing the cable at the end of the outer cable that you just traveled through and pull it as hard as you can. Keep that tension going and then just shift up and down just quickly. And what that'll do is it will enable the nipple head to be pushed a little bit through. While you're clicking that, keeping this tension on, you will see the thumb and finger traveling up and more importantly back down again once you shift down to the highest number, the smallest sprocket essentially. Once that happens, you know that you are properly engaged and the nipple has got no further to travel. And then it's a case of just routing through under the bottom bracket all the way through to the derailleur end, and that's what I will see you next. It's also worth saying that I like to add a drop of oil to the outer cables. So I did that at the shifter end as well. And a couple of dabs of just regular 3-in-1 oil is hydrophobic. So it keeps fluid out or moisture out as much as possible. And it also just acts as a bit of a lubricant to enable your inner cable, the cable we've just fitted, to run smoothly, or as smoothly as possible, through the outer cable. If you have a look in here and you see that these inner cables, these inner wires, given the structure of the outer cable, aren't silver and they're more of a rusty colour, I would replace the outer cables as well, but that's entirely up to you. Anyway, with this oil in here and at the shifter end, it just means the cable is going to run smoothly. So once that's done, it should come out the other end nicely. Relocate your outer cable into the brazed part if you need to. There we go, make sure that's located properly. And now let's bring the cable round, the bike round, let's bring the camera angle down. We're now ready to do the important bit, which is setting up your cable. Now, your cable could be fitted in one of many ways. And so if you didn't pay particular attention when you removed the cable, you might be thinking, well, where do I go, top or bottom? What you'll find, guys, is you'll find a recessed point. And while this bike is quite grubby, you can see that there's a ridge that's been machined into this part just down here. So we know that the cable is going to be fitting nicely into there. And in fact, it's even given a nice click sound. It doesn't matter at the end of the day, except that there's more likelihood for the cable to slip when it's under tension if you don't locate it the right way around. So just make sure it's in the right place. What we're going to do is we're going to nip up this bolt a little bit, but not completely, so that the cable can still move freely, but the cable's not going to slip out. There we go. So the cable can still move, but it's not going to be falling out midway through the job in hand. Now this is where it gets a little bit, not technical, but more common sensey. What you need to do is to gauge how much tension you need. My advice is twist in the barrel adjuster as far as it will go. And if you have any other barrel adjusters at the shifter end or halfway down the frame, which I do, you're going to do that to them as well. So looking into and down from the top of the barrel adjuster, you're going to be going clockwise, righty-tighty. And that's reducing all of the gap that we increased a bit earlier on. And now you're going to back off a complete turn, maybe even two. I think we're going to go 2 turns. So if this is kind of 12 o'clock, this point is going to come all the way round. There we go. And we're going to do it again. Now this isn't coming out drastically. This has got a long amount of thread here, so it's not going to cause any potential for things to get loose. But what this means is once we then go to do final adjustments, you've got a bit of play in both directions. Again, do the same at the other barrel adjuster as well, and then we're into the final stages. Don't judge me. This works perfectly. I guarantee it. With your thumb, you're going to put tension on your derailleur. Again, make sure you're in the highest gear as we are here. So this is gear 9. Make sure you're in the lowest, the highest number, the lowest sprocket. Okay, with tension, with your thumb, you're going to push the derailleur that way, almost as if you're trying to change gear already. By putting that tension on, you're then going to pull the cable through, and assuming the cable doesn't pull itself back through against you, you are now going to tighten the clamp bolt in place. So we've added tension. While that tension's there, we've pulled the cable through to take up the slack, and then we've tightened that on. What that's done is it's added what is likely to be just the right amount of tension to be shifting up to the next gear. Shall we find out? Before we do anything though, we're going to cut the cable so it doesn't hit the spokes and get you into potential bother. We'll put a cap protector on that in a moment. Okay, let's shift into 8. Don't panic, that's just the cable touching. Let's just move that. Is that stopping it now? It is. Okay, so now we're into 8. Let's start again. Let's go back to 9 and go to 8, 7, 6, 5. Oh, it's not quite going, so we're going to add a little bit more tension by going anti-clockwise, half a turn. 4, 3, 2, 1. And more crucially now, let's change down and see if it moves just as easily. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And for good measure, let's test again. 8, 7, there we go. We are in business. And back down again. Amazing. Now just 2 more things to mention. You have a high and low limit screw on the derailleurs. That prevents the chain from coming too far this way and falling off, and too far the other way, and this way have a dork disc to make sure it doesn't get stuck between here and potentially damaging the spokes, rotting off the wheel, etc. Now the way you do that is by finding those 2 screws, and they are just here. If your cable has just been stretched and all you're doing is replacing the cable, this shouldn't be important to you. But if we go back up to gear 1, if you then apply additional pressure to get to your gear shifter, if the derailleur starts to move any more, even though it's on 1, you know you need to tighten in the L screw because it's the low gear. So I'm putting tension on the derailleur, nothing's happening, so we're in business. But just by illustration, if I just remove tension on the L screw, this is just to make a point. The derailleur now moves. Can you see that? So that's me trying to shift. Even though I'm in 1, by me pushing the gear shifter, this is already moving. Now that's not enough probably to take the chain off and cause damage, but this is why your limit screws have to be set up perfectly. So it needs to be not too tight that it won't go into 1, but enough that it won't fall off entirely. And then down this other end, if it just so happens you've been changing down to 9 and actually you've been finding that the chain sometimes on occasion has been falling off here towards the gear hanger side, the frame side, then yeah, you need to tighten your H screw, usually denoted by an L and an H, but you'll know soon enough because if you're in that extreme gear and moving the screw, If the derailleur isn't moving, then you know you've got the wrong one. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. Guys, we're in business. Other than putting this cap on, we are job done. And that is it. That is how to replace the gear cable for your bike. Specifically, this is for the Shimano Acera series, but the principle is pretty much the same across the board. I've obviously got to put that weatherproof cap back on, but you and me, we are job done. Your gears are working fine. And that's it for another day. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. It makes it all worthwhile. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.